Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and you're watching the morning forecast show every single trading morning, 2 hours before the opening bell, 1 hour before the morning bell show. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Today's special is on FOMC. Why? Well, it's FOMC day. Today is a day where Jerome Powell steps on the stage and says good afternoon and the whole market goes crazy. It's actually even more interesting this time around because Donald Trump has been probing into Jerome Powell, possible criminal charges, etc. And it could be the first time ever we see the Fed become political. I know some people would already say the Fed is political. However, the world doesn't see it that way. The world is not pricing in the Fed being political. If Jerome Powell comes out today and is more political, potentially cuts interest rates because he wants to please Trump, or suggests the complete opposite because he doesn't want to please Donald Trump, that is where we are. That could be a major catalyst for a crash in the market. So we are preparing for that. Today is FOMC day. Let's get ready for it. Let's go through all the facts. If you have just tuned in, please do make sure you have hit the like button. Please do subscribe as well. I want to remind everyone that the FOMC cheat sheet will be coming out in the newsletter later on today, plus all the other perks you get in the newsletter, daily news, no corporate sponsors, our own voice, real facts, plus the training course, plus the portfolio challenge, plus the debt planner, budget planner, plus the deep dives, plus the one-on-one access with me. All of that is today is the last day. We're never doing it like this again. So 60% off. First link in the description. Today is the last day. Go and check it out. Let's get into the stories today. In fact, let's go straight to our very own newsletter for some of the top stories of the day. Trump yesterday, he tried to not make the dollar go down, but his comments made the dollar weaken. So Trump's comments sink US dollar. The greenback hit 4-year lows after Trump's casual endorsement of a weaker yo-yo currency. So that did push the dollar down, which obviously brought stocks up. But the main winner, again, the winner was gold and, gold, silver a little bit, but yeah, gold was the main winner. We'll discuss the de-dollarization and the deglobalization because that's a major trend. Again, we are now looking very, very prone to a crash in the markets. There only needs to be a few things fall in place and we can have a major crash in the markets. We can even potentially have a recession. The market is not looking normal. Gold and silver up this much is not normal. Central banks buying this much gold is not normal. The BRICS nations deciding not to use dollar for oil is not normal. The Japan at 30-year highs on their yield is not normal. The carry trade is not something that happens every other day. The AI spend this sort of spending of GDP hasn't happened since the 1800s with the railways. So nothing about this market today is normal. And there's a few things that look like they are going to break. I am still overall bullish on the markets in the next few years. I'm still bullish on AI. I think AI is going to be absolutely revolutionary. People in 5 years' time will look back and say there was a time with the AI or a time without AI. And I mean, everything is going to be AI integrated, whether you like it or not, whether you like AI or you don't, it is going to become a part of your life and it's going to be a big part of your life. So I do think AI is a sector I certainly want to be exposed to. Am I looking at the companies at the forefront, such as Meta or Google? Well, they're always great bets. However, that's not really, or am I looking at real speculative AI names within the stock sector that have AI in their name and they're going up? Probably not. Where I'm looking and what the first research report on the £5,000 challenge, again, it's not financial advice. I'm releasing my full framework on how we get 1,000% gains quite regularly, actually, which is not very normal. But I'm releasing that full framework and we don't look at just the headline, we look behind the scenes. So we will be looking at copper. Copper itself is a metal, but copper miners as well. We've identified sort of a 20-year backlog on copper mines, and that means we can't keep up the supply. So if the supply is not there, and the demand's still high, then what we're looking at is much higher prices, and the miners that are there currently will be priced higher because their copper will be bought at higher prices. And also copper is obviously one of the major things needed in data centers and also electrification of the US and the world. So if you want that first report, that's coming out later this week. Again, it is part of the it's part of the premium newsletter, which is 60% off. Today is the last day. So yeah, that is where I'm looking. I still want to be positioned in that side of things. However, I am aware that there could be a massive correction on our hands, even possibly a recession. Gold and silver up this much. I expect when they pull back, I don't think that money is going to flow into crypto and stock market like some people are saying. I think when gold and silver pull back, the rest of the market is also going to pull back. So it could all start today with the FOMC day. There could be some real bearish tone to Jerome Powell today in regards to maybe the shutdown and no data, the Donald Trump investigation, inflation, unemployment. We'll see what he says there. No rate cuts potentially this year if he's worried about inflation. So we'll see what's happening, and then we might get emergency rate cuts later this year if there's a real situation, which could cause a real crash in the markets. Again, I don't like being out the markets. I'm not out the markets. My money is invested in gold and silver, which is to me sort of out the markets. But that has been growing at a rate of about 100% or 150% a year, which is obviously incredible. But I want to be invested in the stock market. So the first opportunity that presents itself, I'll be back into some of these positions. Remember, most people long-term investing. I mean, most people that don't even know anything about investing, and this is what we're trying to change, but most people that don't know anything about investing, that just put their money away into their 401ks or their pensions, and they give it to a financial advisor or they just put it into an index fund, they will outperform the people that try and get rich quick, time and time again. I think if you actually understand the markets, actually read the news, and breathe the market, I think you should be able to outperform someone who knows nothing about the market. So the lesson there is you need to control your emotions. You need to put the research in. You might need to make some mistakes to outperform those people, but also it's not a bad idea just to invest in index funds and let it grow over time and be invested in the market. Anyway, let's get more into the news. If I can welcome everyone in, please can you hit the like button as well on your way in. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. That would be amazing. We'll go over to your comments and questions in a second. Powell faces high-stakes Fed decision amid political pressure and DOJ investigations. The Fed likely holds rates while fighting for institutional independence. So I'm about 100% sure that we're going to have a pause on rates. If I'm wrong, you might never see me streaming on this channel again. I'm about 100% sure on that, but I don't even care about that. What I care about is what the tone is, what he says, everything that's going to be discussed in that FOMC cheat sheet later. Amazon cuts corporate jobs. CEO Anthony Jassy trims management layers to reallocate towards AI automation. Again, there we go. Jobs being cut, unemployment going up, AI automation taking over. And then here, a big story from Tether. USDT is building a massive gold reserve. We keep getting numbers out of Tether of their gold purchases. The stablecoin giant is buying tons of bullion weekly, and we're not talking about just as a phrase. They're actually buying thousands of kilograms of gold weekly. Remember, a kilogram of gold now is about, $150,000. So they're making massive purchases. They're not buying 1 kilogram. They're buying 1,000 kilograms a week, positioning itself for digital age central bank. So they are I think they might be coming up to the largest gold holder outside of a central bank. Then we've got Japanese bonds. Don't forget about the Japanese bond story. However, it's cooling down a little bit because there is a bit of relief. So Japanese bonds pass auction test. Strong demand for 40-year bonds did temporary relief following market chaos over possible physical tax freezes. I don't know when the carry trade will unwind. I know it's going to gradually unwind, or it might be a chaotic unwind. I don't know which one it is yet, but I am prepared for worst case scenario, which is a massive carry trade unwind. Something similar to what we saw in 2024, but to a larger extent. We saw the worrying statements coming out of the New York Fed about intervention. Last time we saw intervention, that wasn't great for the markets at all. But right now it's cooling off again. So again, it might be a month from now, it might be 4 months from now. I can't give you a time frame. I just tell you to be prepared for these scenarios and follow the story. The one big thing today is ASML recorded 13.2 billion euros in new orders, nearly doubling expectations and validating a short-term commitment to AI infrastructure. Simultaneously, SK Hynix has exhausted its high bandwidth memory supply through 2026 to support NVIDIA's growth. This transition represents a fundamental reallocation of semiconductor supply chain towards advanced data centers. While equipment, it's like smoke coming out my mouth, it's so cold in the shed. While equipment manufacturers thrive, the pivot creates a significant bottleneck for traditional consumer electronics. Retail investors must now track the gross margins of hardware firms like Apple and Dell. These companies face a difficult choice between absorbing high component costs or risk lower sales through price hikes. We're looking at the fear and greed index. The stock market is back in the greed phase. We are seeing a big bounce in the stock market today, especially with tech. Let me go over to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is up nearly 1%, nearly at all-time highs today. So we are getting a big bounce in tech, especially after those earnings we've seen in the last couple of days. A big earnings day as well for many stocks. But yeah, we've got the NASDAQ up to literally it's essentially hit all-time highs today. It is maybe 0.1% away from all-time highs. So you can see the NASDAQ is now outperforming the S&P 500, although the S&P 500, has that hit all-time highs today? And the S&P 500 has also just hit all-time highs today. So yeah, this is what I mean. If you're out of the market, you're missing out on all these gains. And I've said this time and time again. In 2022, when a lot of people said the correction is going to continue, we identified we want to be in the market and the bear market's over in 2022. A lot of people on the sidelines, and we're up 82% since 2023. A lot of people sold around the tariffs liberation day. But the next question was, when were they going to buy back? Some people are still waiting to buy back because they were scared around these levels. We weren't scared. We bought in. If you bought the liberation day crash, there was no need to sell, because if you're looking at the chart now, again, we're at all-time highs. So if you get a good purchase in the S&P 500, most of the time there's no need to sell, because the market's going to continue going up, and the next decision is, when do you buy back? And right now the S&P 500, even though a lot of people are calling for it to crash, is continuing higher. And that's why I like to stay invested in the market, have money in the side in diversified assets like gold and silver. I'll use that gold and silver to buy a crash if needed, or I might sell my gold and silver, put it into bonds, and then if a crash comes, I will add to my position. So there we go. The S&P 500 back to all-time highs. NASDAQ 0.1% away from all-time highs. And as expected, crypto is quite a way away from its all-time highs. There is a 97% chance, I'll call it 100% chance, that the Fed will hold rates, but keep an eye out on the tone of Jerome Powell. Put it all in the cheat sheet that will come out later. Big winners in the market. We've got Mirando Global Investments surged following a Bitcoin treasury deal, a massive short squeeze that saw short interest explode over 1,700%, a 300% move up for that company. Congratulations to any holders of that. Then we've got Hyperliquid Strategies Incorporated shares rose in correlation with the HYPE token rally and record trading volumes in the HIP-3 protocol. That's up 18%. We've got Lam Research Corporation gaining 8% on high expectations for AI-driven revenue growth and positive sentiment following ASML's record-breaking earnings. We've got Micron Technology climbing 5%, a physical Q1 earnings blowout driven by robust demand for high-margin AI memory and data center solutions. So far, the earnings, especially in the AI scene, are pushing the markets to all-time highs. So they are still keeping up with their valuations. WDC, Western Digital Corporation, hit a 52-week high after beating Q1 earnings estimates, fueled by structural shortage in data center storage capacity. Guys, AI, it's not really a bubble. In my opinion, it's not a bubble. It can crash because people are over-leveraged and there's a lot of leverage in the system that might need to be wiped out. But it's not an AI, it's not a bubble like 2000. 2000, these companies weren't making money. Now, there's so much investment needed. These companies are actually making money. There are shortages all around for this sort of stuff, and they're not going to stop building. So they are prepared to pay more and more to get those data centers up because they think they can generate more money as the end result. And I think they can. So you can see shortages from data center. All of these companies are up today. Shortage in data center capacity, AI companies, memory companies, record-breaking performances from some of these companies, even though they are up 50, 70, 80, 100%, 1,000% over the last few years, if you look at it that way, they are still going higher. AMAT, Applied Materials Incorporated shares moved higher following several analyst upgrades, citing increased capital expenditure from major chip makers like TSMC. Seagate Technologies Holding PLC rallied 12% after exceeding Q2 profit estimates as AI infrastructure needs drove a 28% surge in data center revenue. Intel Corporate, these are the top movers throughout the whole market. Again, we have a very complicated way of figuring out these top movers. We have to look at it based off market cap, because obviously if a $100 billion company moves 3%, it means a lot more than a $1 billion company moving 10%. So these are all done in the correct way. And you can see that the companies that are moving are AI, data centers, and based off earnings. So ASML also moved up 8% based off their earnings. SanDisk memory rose in anticipation of earnings, benefiting from enterprise SSD demand and structural price increases across the storage sector. Storage sector, again, it's all back to AI. TXN Texas Instruments Incorporated stabilized after issuing Q1 2026 guidance that beat consensus, signaling a cyclical recovery in the broad analog semiconductor market. We've got some losers. The first loser is Elevance Health Incorporated, plunged 12% as rising medical cost inflation and Medicare Medicaid attribution led to significant downwards revision. So this is a medical company. Again, we saw, what was it? What was that big company? A bit of insider trading going on, allegedly. United Health, that fell about 20%, and obviously it's bringing the health sector down with it. We've then got Porovo Incorporated shares fell after Q4 revenue guidance overshadowed a Q3 earnings beat, driven by seasonal Apple declines and an Android market exit. And then we've got Skyworks Solution that moved lower in pre-market trading due to persistent Apple dependency and volatility surrounding its pending merger with Qorvo. So these two are looking to merge, and they're going down on the same news. So again, the losers are healthcare and merger related. The winners are AI, data center, storage related. So you can see the trend in the market. Let's go over to the dollar and the market. So let's go for a few charts as well. We've got gold up 1.78%. Let me just make sure everyone is in the chat. If you have just tuned in, can everyone please make sure you hit the like button on your way in? And please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. I know a lot of people are sleepy. A lot of people forget to hit the like button. This is your one chance. I'll wait for you to do it. Let me give you a few seconds to hit that like button. Someone in the chat said, I want Vivian9729 says, I want Jerome Powell to increase the rate. It looks like Vivian wants a sharp correction in the markets. That'll be interesting. I don't think he would do that. I would say there's no chance of him doing that, but I can understand why you'd want that if you want a market crash. Guys, the FOMC cheat sheet. Now we've got more people in. Let me just remind you what it's about. So I think I can pull up a previous one as well. Let me just go over to the live chat for a second. I think I can pull up a previous one so you guys can see what you will get later today. Search FOMC, the cheat sheet. Yeah, I think this is the one we did last time. Here you go. So we're going to be releasing one of these today for all premium members of the newsletter. Remember, it's 60% off, and today is the last day, and we're not doing a promotion like this again. I'll put the link in the live chat. This is the cheat sheet. This isn't the one today. This is the one from last time. You'll get something very similar to this. You'll get the full timeline of events, so you know exactly what's happening, when it's happening, the summary there. You'll get the step-by-step. So at this time, you'll get the rate decision. What are the scenarios? What would happen? It's got infographics in there as well. What the consensus is, what's most likely, what people are going to be doing, what's the probability of each scenario. As you can see, there's also infographics. Then half an hour later, you get the statement. So I'm going to be looking at what's the most important parts of that statement, what to be looking out for, what in the specific paragraphs, what to look out for as well if you're trading the speech and the PDF, or just if you want to increase your knowledge around it. If we're getting a summary of economic projections, then I'll give you the full outline of that as well. We normally, when we do the FOMC, I'll be probably calling into Martyn's show as well. We normally have the information quicker than Bloomberg, and people can analyze it because we're prepared with the cheat sheet. So if you're reading through the cheat sheet and you're going step by step throughout the event as well, alongside the live event with Martyn, you'll be having a lot more insight. So you have all the information, what's dovish, what's hawkish, what to look out for. You'll have the dot plot if there is going to be one. I don't think today we'll have a dot plot. Then you will go on to the opening statement, what to look out for in the speech, the Q&A, all the things to look out for. So you don't have to read it all at once. You can be going through this as the event goes, or you can read it once before and once during the show. Then you get all my charts. So you get the technical analysis, all the chart. I mean, guys, look at this chart. This is only a month ago. We were looking at silver from $60 to $69 as our first target. And then obviously we had the targets of $100 as well. So last time round, I mean, silver was at $60. If you took the trade on silver last time, again, I don't give financial advice, but if you did your own research and looked into silver last time, it was at $60. This trade would have, 100% returns in less than a month. I mean, that's incredible. So you get all the charts over there as well. So keep an eye out for that. You'll get all my favorite charts. Again, this trade over here, XRP, was successful as well. We bought at $2, we took it to $2.30. And then again, we took our profits to $2.30, and now we're lower. Of course, we're lower now, but that trade was very much a successful trade. Again, was that a 15, 16% trade without any leverage? S&P 500, that trade came in live during the event as well. Again, we had two scenarios there. And obviously you have a more stop loss depending on which way you're taking it. We're above the support, so we took it towards the upside. Then we talked about bonds, more infographics there for to understand more. We might do a few more charts in today's FOMC because I don't cheat sheet because I don't think we'll get the summary of economic projections or the dot plot. So there might be more space in the cheat sheet to do some more charts. And then tomorrow, so we'll get this today. Tomorrow you're going to get the start of the So yeah, let me explain this first. So this is the FOMC cheat sheet. This is everything you'll get. You'll get some more charts as well. You get this for all events, whether it's Japan, carry trade, or you get smaller versions of this for a PPI or CPI release. You get cheat sheets for any major events that are worth, that could be very volatile in the market, and you need to be potentially walked through what's happening during the event and all the insights. You get this sort of cheat sheet for all of that. This is a premium perk for the newsletter. Let me pull up all the perks. All here are all the perks. I think I've got a poll running right now. Yeah, there's 11% of people that want to sign up. So let me explain this to people. Factory 2 field, join Electrum member, cannot member. Factory 2 field, if you're a member, you would be in a different color and you would have a member's badge next to you. Unfortunately, you're not a member. So yeah, let me just quickly explain this because we want to go back to the FOMC preparation. The only reason I'm explaining this is because it's the last day of the 60% offer So I apologize if you've already heard this, but let me explain it one more time. So today is the FOMC cheat sheet. You'll get that later. So if you sign up right now to newsletter, you'll get that full cheat sheet later. I'll put the link in. It is 60% off on the annual plan. We will never do that sort of offer again. The reason we're doing it is we launched a newsletter less than a year ago, just about a year ago, with the mission to, there was too many media sources that were just biased, political, full of jargon, full of ads, had their interests at heart. Reading the news is so important. That's what made me a really successful investor. However, there is so much garbage out there. You don't need to sift through it. I will do that for you. So we will bring out the newsletter every single day. There is a free plan as well. So some of this applies to free plan as well. We'll bring out the newsletter every single day with the top stories, diving into those top stories. Then there's a deep dive and there's a chart of the day. So you get that as standard. The deep dive and the chart of the day is normally, well, all the time is for the premium members. Sometimes we release the 5 stories for the free subscribers as well. Then you get, what else do you get? So you get the one-on-one access with me. You can DM me on the app. So if you are a premium member, I highly recommend you have the Substack app because you can DM me one-on-one. And then you've also got access to a community where I also post. The other day, I posted my personal conversation with Michael Burry and what he thinks about the carry trade. I sometimes post charts in there. The other day, we're looking at silver. And the community we can have community conversations or one-on-one DMs. That's only for premium members. You get 0 ads, 0 distractions. You get the top stock movers every day. You get my thoughts on each story every day. You get the chart of the day every single day. You get event cheat sheets. This is for the premium members. You get the event cheat sheets every time there's an FOMC, Japan carry trade, or anything worth exploring and having a cheat sheet for. You get the deep dive research. You get specialized emerging tech breakdowns. You get the XRP report. The free members do also get the XRP weekly as well. You get personal replies from me, one-on-one DM for the premium members. The reason of the 60% discount is because we've got the biggest upgrade to newsletters since we launched it, and that is the portfolio challenge, where I'll be releasing my full framework for how I invest and get those 1,000% gains, or hopefully get those 1,000% gains. It's not financial advice. It's not an alerts-based system. Buy this now, sell this now. We're doing the full research, putting it towards you, and you can make your own decisions, but I will be tracking it with my own £5,000 and showing you that portfolio. The first research report the framework will come out on Thursday, so tomorrow, and then this weekend you will get the full research report. We're looking at copper. We're going to look at precious metal miners and copper, but copper itself, when we're doing the research, again, we have a team behind this. When we're doing the research, copper stood out very much. So we thought, actually, let's do a full copper newsletter and then we'll do precious metals maybe the week after. So you get that full story. We haven't started it yet. So great time to join. That will be on the weekend or later this week. You'll get the first copper one. Then we've got the trading course. Again, I'm not trying to teach you how to get rich in 5 minutes or day trade. You can day trade with the charts. I don't really look to day trade. I don't think there's any need to day trade when there's enough money to be made swing trading or long-term investing. So the point of the chart course is, again, 9 years of charting, many mistakes made, many courses I paid for, many books I read, many times I've been sick. Over the last 4 years, I've been very successful with charts, and now I want to give it to you guys as an additional perk for the premium members. So that'll be coming out, plus the budget planner, debt planner, and the net worth tracker. Those are 3 new products launching in the next couple of weeks, starting this week. So to celebrate that, we're doing a 60% offer. If you want to take advantage of it, go and check it out. It is the link in the live chat. It's also the first link in the description. Today is the last day. Let me go over to your comments. Let me just see this poll for a second. 24% of the people watching are premium members. Wow. Thank you, guys. And 35% are free members as well. If you are a free member, it is a great time to upgrade. I don't think there would be a offer like this again. But thank you for being a free member as well. I know there's a lot of value in being a free member as well, the content you get. And the people that asked, how do you sign up? Well, I've given you all the information and the link is in the chat. So what you have to do is click that link. It'll take you to a page, you input your email, and then you choose whether you go on the annual plan, which is obviously the one that's 60% off for your first year, or the monthly, which probably doesn't make too much financial sense, or the free plan, or if you are a big supporter, you can be a founding member, and that gives you lifetime access. let's go over to the live chat, and then I'll be going through my thoughts. Then we can go through a few charts as well. Trump yo-yoing, sending dollar low is obviously a concern, the whole de-dollarization. This is what's happening later. Let me go over to the live chat and then I'll come back. Smash the like, says Silver Days. Stevie is here, morning to you. Silver Days XRP says Martyn Lucas, good morning, good morning. Rhino Skin is here. Let's skip through all the good mornings because we've got a lot to go through. I love the good mornings, but we have to go back to the show. So, hello, Yolanda. Good morning. Russian, hello. Yolanda's here. JC, how do you do? Sensei, hello to you. David Hensley. David Hensley's second day of his course. Can everyone wish David Hensley is doing an amazing course to help people out? A week-long course, and he called in yesterday, and I want to send him some good vibes. So David Hensley says, what's up, everybody? I'm driving, so I can't chat with you guys. This is an important day, so please pay attention to what Martyn has to say about everything. Thank you, David Hensley. Good luck with today. We are wishing you all the best. Yolanda says, don't forget to hit the like button. Hello, Yolanda. Hello, Tiddy Big Dog. Tidy Big Dog. Sorry, what am I saying? Comic Cause says, good morning. David Hensley, focus on driving. You don't need to send the links. David Hensley, you keep putting in the wrong link as well. You've put in newsletter sign up. This link will take you to all of Martyn links. You just get rid of that. Wherever, you never need to send that one again. Newsletter sign up, and this link will take you to all of Martyn Lucas links. That's the one that's wrong, by the way. That's the one that's wrong. I don't think you quite understood what I meant yesterday. Anyway, thank you for all you do. It doesn't matter. Yolanda says, best of luck, David. Casey says, bow to your sensei. No, don't bow to me. Ken Landros says, probably dump when it opens and rebound up. Human Being Liz says, buenos dias. Great intro music, very inspiring. Thank you very much. A lot of great comments about my intro music. Someone even said, Martyn, you need better music because sensei's intro music is better. Maybe we'll do a poll later whose intro music is better. How low can we go? Human Being Liz says, hello, good morning. Was it you last night online, or was I dreaming? A voice woke me up. I did call into Martyn's show. Yes, I did call into Martyn's show. The Patrick Black says, good morning, Sensei. Spartan Wolf PR says, mic cutting off, I think, on your end. I don't think anyone else. No, I think that's just you. That's just you. Please refresh the stream. Kezil Brian says, good morning. All the sun is shining bright today. Best of luck to you all. Spartan Wolf says, not at the time, though. Hello from England. I bought more XRP and Flare today. Craig Palmer, congratulations to you. They're down. Why not buy? There you go. Calandra, I think some people overcomplicate it and then they just miss out because they never buy. You've pulled the trigger. Congratulations to you. Yes, it can go lower. It probably will go lower, but I assume you might just buy more or you're happy with your position. At some point, you're just happy with your position. I remember when XRP was at 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. I didn't care. Anytime it was below 50 cents or initially anytime it was below 40 cents, I would just buy. I didn't care if it was at 39 cents. I didn't care if it was at 30 cents. I didn't care if XRP dropped to 10 cents. I was so happy with my buys because I knew where XRP was going on or had conviction or I had my plan in place that every time it was below 40 cents, I didn't care. Because if it was going to be above $1, it doesn't really matter. And I was very convinced it was going to be way above $1. And of course, it went up to $3.40. So at some point, to each person's risk profile and preference, it doesn't even matter. I remember there was a time Ethereum, every time it was below £400, £500, I would buy because I knew Ethereum was going way above £1,000. Tesla, every time it dropped below $15, I would just buy. So again, people normally wait too long and then they don't have a position. So I want to congratulate you for that. And then it will pump, and then the next day everyone starts buying in at $2.50, $3, waiting for $10. I mean, it's at $1.80 right now. I don't know where XRP is at. It's not a bad price. Again, I think it can go down 50% lower, and I will buy, and I'll have enough cash to buy 50% lower. But it's not my best buy if I buy right now XRP. But if I think it's going to $10, does it really matter? If you're day trading, then yes, it does matter. If you're long-term investing, then it doesn't. Yolanda, Yes, Liz, this was David on camera with Martyn and Sensei. You are not dreaming. Dan Ackerman says, good morning, Sensei. Why do I recognize the name Dan Ackerman? Have you called in before? Have I had a conversation with you? Why do I recognize your name? Craig Palmer says, I know you're in the show quite often, but why do I recognize it more than normal? Craig Palmer says, just remember when it gets better. Boom. Lol, Yolanda, yeah, I was having my laptop on and fall asleep. So funny. First music woke me up. Then David, I have to review the show. Such a stressy day. Chilling with you now. Yeah, David was very loud last night, wasn't he? He's always full of energy. We love it. Human Being Liz says, you go for me to the beach, please. Just use stainless steel. Just use stainless steel. For what? What did I say? Just use stainless steel. What do you mean? Just use stainless steel. I don't know what that comment's in reference to. Adam Colville says, good morning, all from a very grey and damp UK. Yeah, it's very wet this winter, isn't it, in the UK? I mean, have we ever had this much rainfall before? Human Being Liz says, good morning, Adam. Same in Germany. George Goro says, how many hours till Jerome Powell's speech? It will be later on today. You've got a good few hours to prepare. Craig Palmer says there will be a shortage soon of stainless steel. Yeah, we're looking at all metals. Yeah, we're doing copper is the one that really stood out. We were doing precious metal miners and copper research, and then as a team, when we were researching it, copper really stood out, and we were like, actually, this requires its own personal research and its own own sort of pile of investment. So we've essentially pushed the precious metal research back to possibly next week, and then going forward with the copper research that will come out later this week. Craig Palmer, that the problem is that when the government decides to tax the sale of your gold and puts 40% tax on it, well, thankfully here in the UK, one of the good things about here in the UK is when you buy gold Britannias, gold sovereigns, I think it's sovereigns, legal tender, I'm pretty sure they are. Essentially, if you buy most of the coins from the Royal Mint, they are legal tender. So essentially, you don't get taxed and there's no capital gains tax on them. If you buy bars, that's different. But if you buy Britannias or sovereigns, sovereign's legal tender. I'm literally 99% sure, but sovereign gold coins legal tender. Yeah, they are legal tender. So the face value is £1 apparently, but their value is about, I don't know, £900 now. So anything which is legal tender, such as sovereigns, Britannias, all those coins that are from the Royal Mint, they're CGT free because they are legal tender. So no capital gains tax on the silver versions, on the gold versions. Thankfully, again, there's no VAT on gold in the UK. There is VAT on silver. So when you're buying silver, you'll see an additional 20% charge. If you're buying it new, if you're buying secondhand or from someone else, obviously that doesn't apply. But yeah, thankfully, no capital gains tax, which is another perk. And also, we've got a £20,000 ISA here in the UK. I mean, 99% of people won't be able to fill that up. So again, the UK might be bad for certain things, but crypto is we're way behind, and we don't have a real tax efficient way of doing that. But when you look at the stocks and shares ISA, £20,000 completely tax free, accessible when you like. You can withdraw. We can put it back in, and you've got gold and silver CGT free. It's not too bad investment wise, and also the pensions scheme is not too bad either. Karen says, good morning, Sensei and everyone. Vivian says, I want him to increase the rate. JJ Abel, 6 hours and 7 minutes away from FOMC meeting. Craig, I want to give you some more charts. If anyone has any specific questions with FOMC or any charts, let me know. Craig Palmer says 100 XRP equals $10,000 when it hits $100. At the cost of 150 is a bargain. I mean, Craig Palmer, we can pull numbers out of wherever. We can pull all sorts of numbers. I can say 100 XRP at 100,000 when it hits $1,000. You could do that with anything, and that's a real dangerous way of looking at things, especially when you're looking at $100 XRP. I mean, $100 XRP, very possible. It's not like $1,000 XRP, but it is there has to be a very strong pathway to get there. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but it's also be careful because you can apply that to anything, and it doesn't mean much when you just say numbers. Biker Dude from Mars says, I tune into the channel for your knowledge. Only once Martyn comes on, I turn it off. You provide consistent data. But I guess thank you, Biker Dude. I don't know what to say to that. Henrik says, good afternoon. All factory to fill. Join Electra member. Cannot access member only video. You're not an Electra member, otherwise you can see it on the screen. Everyone else has a badge. You don't have a badge. Matt and Bag says, where's us the best place to keep crypto if you have a memory like a goldfish? Well, even with like a ledger, you'd write down the phrases and you'll put it in a safe or a security deposit box, depending on how much crypto you have and how much security you want. But essentially, I mean, a lot of people say it's the crypto community are gonna hate on me when I say this, but if you're in the US and you've got access to ETFs and you only have to pay 0.25% for them to take care of it, keep it safe, and it can be tax efficient, then buy the ETFs. Again, not financial advice, but that's the best way of doing it. And then secondly, Coinbase is pretty safe as well. I mean, you can go the extra mile and put on a ledger, but most people lose out when they do that. Joey Knowles says, let's make some money. And also Robinhood now has crypto. I mean, most of these places are pretty safe now. We're not like 10 years ago or 5 years ago where exchanges weren't safe. I mean, I wouldn't trust any exchange, but the top 3 or 4, they're pretty safe. Joey Knowles says, let's make some money. Matt says, hi. Philip Broad says, I'm not doing any trades. I'm just here to watch. I'll buy XRP and hold it. I love it. That is probably, you're probably going to make more money than most people, because people that just keep trading, they can't control their emotions. They don't have the knowledge, and they will probably lose in the long term. The people that just watch for the updates and to get more information and become more knowledgeable about the topic and what's going on in the world, so that they don't get emotional and they have more conviction or change their mind because the information is different, and just buy and hold. They're the people that will make the most money, in my opinion. Rambo says, if gold is going up, I'm sure silver is going to rip higher soon. I think silver is already ripped higher a lot. If gold's going up, of course, silver will go up. But I think silver will have one last surge towards the upside before it corrects and finds a base. Josh Monroe says, does anyone use UUP to track strength of the US dollar? I think it said it compares to the 6 world currencies. I asked Google for the most popular ticker, and that's what it came up with. UUP, let's have a look at it. I look at the DXY, but we can certainly have the look at the UUP. I'm always open to ideas. UUP. Invesco US dollar index bullish fund. Well, I think this is a form of investment, isn't it? This is what you'd buy if you want to be exposed to the dollar. Investment traps, mutual funds. UUP goes long the dollar. UUP goes long the US dollar and shorts the currencies of major US trading partners using. Yeah, so this isn't just this is sort of an investment. If you want to invest in the US dollar leveraged and then short the other currencies, then this is what you look at. And obviously this is down 12% over the last year or so. So I guess it's a way of tracking the US dollar. It probably looks very similar to the DXY. The US dollar, this is the most normal way of looking at it, I would say. The dollar index currently at 96, breaking real big trends at the moment. So thanks for bringing that to our attention, but I wouldn't be betting. That the other one you showed is like if you really want to bet on the US dollar, from the quick look I had. Hungover Star says, just joined yesterday. Oh, brilliant, Hungover Star. Welcome to the channel. Right now, Binance Official Exchanger has... I don't even know what you're saying. That doesn't sound great. If there's a course, one video thing on ongoing course. Zap Zone, well, I'm trying to make it so that it's one video is 90% of it. And then there'll be like Q&As every week, live once a week. And then there'll be maybe follow-ups. If I'm bringing out an indicator, for example, I'm trying to get it all in one video. But yeah, it's hopefully just, you don't really need too much to it unless there's an update or I want to clarify something or a question keeps popping up. We'll do the live Q&A just to make sure everyone's questions are answered. But the course itself should just be one video. To make it easier for everyone. Clutch Hammer says, peace, Sir Joey. I joined Premium. I look at this. Premium costs around a meal of a fast food a month. Everyone should join. Yes, Sir Joey, exactly. I mean, it's the price of a fast food a month. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, and thanks for the kind words. Yeah, I mean, if you actually, the people that fully take advantage of the newsletter and read it every day, I mean, there is no way you don't become a more successful investor, because your knowledge just goes through the roof. If you are covering, if you understand the stories every day, if you are taking advantage of the course, if you are looking at the research and applying it to your own thoughts and own research, there is no way you won't make a return on investment. And right now, as you said, it's 60, what is it? Under $100 for the year. So that'll make it 30 cents a day. I mean, it's a coffee a week. It's a fast food a month, whatever. I mean, if people don't want to invest in themselves, I mean, I don't know. DJ Haynes says, good luck, David. Leon Rivas says, good morning, Sensei. Slim is here. Factory. I'll give everyone the link for the newsletter as well if anyone's just joined in. Today's the last day of it. Plus, you're going to get the full FOMC cheat sheet later today. Plus, all the training course, portfolio track is coming later this year. That's our next massive launch, which will be an absolutely amazing app. I mean, it will be. I don't even want to talk too much about it because I get excited about it. It's a whole portfolio tracker, research stocks, all within one app. That's coming later today. And if you're a premium member, the cost will go up when an app like that comes out, because the value of that app will be incredible. If you join the newsletter now, your cost will never go up. Yes, it's 60% off the first year, and then it'll be full price next year. But your cost will never go up in terms of the price you signed up for. So the people that signed up at the very beginning of the newsletter, when it was just newsletter, when we were just starting out, when I maybe didn't know exactly what I was doing. I mean, it was great from the beginning, but obviously we've evolved. That price then was way lower than it is today. And they stay that price. And I imagine the price of the newsletter will continue to go up as we add more and more value to it. So anyway, thanks, Sensei. Thanks, Sensei. I am Ost. I've paid, and the order number from YouTube. Where do I go? Thanks. I'm in Ost. I've paid and have an order number from YouTube. Factory to fill. I would have to. We don't. I mean, I don't know too much about the YouTube memberships, but even Martyn, he can't do anything about that because it's YouTube takes care of all of that. Then we don't have any say in what YouTube does. So if you've paid for an election and you haven't got it, that is. I would say you've probably done something wrong, because it's very unlikely YouTube does something wrong. If you really think YouTube done something wrong, then you contact them themselves. But you might have maybe you've bought membership on the extra channel, maybe you've bought Discord, maybe you've bought the newsletter and you think you've bought Electrum. How much was your how much? Actually, I don't know what it is in Australian dollars. How can I help you? I would say if you go to the homepage of this channel and then go to your the members section, you'll be able to see what your status is. But yeah, I would say you've probably done something wrong and you don't have Electrum and you've bought something else and you think you've got Electrum. That's probably the most likely thing. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, but that's probably the most likely thing you've done. If you don't think that's the case, then the only thing you can do is contact YouTube customer support. Spartan Wolf PR says, where I hear... Jim Rickett says, great show as always. Knocking Star says, good afternoon. Vivian, thank you very much for saying great show as always, Jim Ricketts. Really appreciate it. Vivian says, what tone do you think is too late? What tone do you think too late is too late power, I understand, is going to portray about the future, positive or negative? I have a feeling he's going to go negative. Again, this is just me going crystal ball. Let's see what we think. I think he might be going a little bit negative. Although it's the end of he's coming to an end of his reign, and he might want to end on a positive note. I think it'll be more negative than positive today, to be honest. Zap Zone says, do we get a special icon for becoming a newsletter premium? Unfortunately, that has nothing to do with YouTube, so we can't do that. But you do on the newsletter. You get a special icon. Knocking Star says, on Bloomberg, they say Trump likes the dollar to go down. Maybe he does, but he's certainly bringing the dollar down, which is not great. Remember, guys, look, if you like Donald Trump, you don't like Donald Trump, sometimes we just have to say some facts. The dollar going down is not great for the consumers. Just like when tariffs came out and everyone said this is great for for the America. There will be no inflation. Well, unfortunately, if you look at the facts, prices will go up if you bring tariffs. Now, you can make the argument, is this better for America and we bring our manufacturing back and overall are we better? You can certainly make that argument and you're probably right. But if you think tariffs doesn't cause inflation, doesn't bring harm to the US citizens in terms of inflation, then you're wrong. And also, dollar going down is not great for people. Things get more expensive once again. So just want to make that clear. Matt and Bag, how do you think the XRP will go? How low do you think XRP will go? I don't know. I'm not a crystal ball reader and I don't want to know. I mean, if I knew, then I'll be a billionaire. I would catch the bottom. I would long it with all the money. I'll put my house on it, everything. And I would sell everything right now and I'll wait for the bottom. I don't know. So what's the next best thing you can do? Well, the next best thing is to keep up to date with the knowledge, understand the charts, have the levels set in, have a plan in place, have maybe an edge, and the edge comes from the charts and the research. That edge will tell me where to buy. I've released that whole research to the newsletter. Even if you sign up to the newsletter now, you can go see all my limit orders. I normally show it on the chart as well. I mean, where's my next level set up? Yeah, we caught the 181. So the next one will be 172. I don't know where the bottom is. I know the lower we go is the more unlikely we go, but there's still a possibility. For example, there is a possibility we go down to 64 cents. That possibility is very low, but if it does go down that low, and if there is a chance for that, I want to be prepared for that. Whether that means I don't care if it goes down that low and I won't have any money to buy, but my portfolio is, and I'm fine with that, or it means 64 cents, I want to buy that level, so I've got some money on the side. Whatever it means you have to have a plan in place and be comfortable with the levels. So I've got full levels, I've got a full plan in place. My plan is probably going to be different to yours, but you can certainly have a look at mine and see my process of thinking. Kazan Sky says, afternoon all sunny in Kent Garden of England. Oh, it's sunny in that part of England. Why is it not sunny here? Evan I'm going to butcher that name. I'm going to call you Elvin. Hi, Sensei. I tried to buy Discord $2.99, but it said I'm already a member. How cancel and add again? Again, sorry, I don't know much about Discord. I imagine if you're a member, then you're a member. No, I don't know. Elvin, maybe set up a new Discord. I don't know. Sorry. I tried to buy Discord $2.99, but it says I'm already a member. How do I cancel? I'm sure there must be a settings within Discord or on the payment page when you go into Discord. Surely there's a way to cancel and then resubscribe. Unfortunately, I've not done it, so I can't guide you. Sooner WTF? Are you going to trade your silver and gold when you go to sell it if the dollar is going to crash? Are you going to trade your silver and gold for when you go to sell it if the dollar's I don't know what you mean by that, Sooner Bear. I don't even know what your question is. Dear says, if the Fed is neutral, then what happens to gold? The Fed is neutral, gold is in an uptrend, so it will continue going up. Kazan Sky says, swearing unnecessarily, grow up. Yeah, what's the point? I don't even know what that conversation was. Back to this question here about if the Fed is neutral. If you're just looking at the FOMC isolated with gold and silver, you want rates to come down for gold and silver to become more attractive to the investor. So if it's neutral, then it's neutral for gold and silver. But if you're looking at the whole situation right now in the markets, if it's neutral, the trend for gold and silver is up, it's probably going to continue towards the upside. Lucio says, silver inventory on global shortage. Are you sure paper silver ain't going to depeg? Already happened with platinum? No, I'm not sure. And that's why I prefer physical silver. And that's why I've been invested in silver since $20, is because I think there's a real discrepancy between paper and real silver. Guys, we've only got 2 minutes late. This show has just gone very quickly. Let me go over and make sure we've got... Martyn will be sending us a link shortly, and then we'll go over to him. So we'll continue until that ends. Maybe we'll go until that time, Martyn's timer runs out a little bit, so we can try and answer as much of these questions. XRP to 589. Please don't say that on this show. We don't believe in any of that nonsense. Better Max Memories. You've surprised me, Sensei. You should know that global liquidity on its way. Bitcoin will pump hard soon. Oh, that's just worked again. What do you mean I've surprised you? I'm super bullish on XRP, Bitcoin, AI, the markets. I just I'm also prepared for the downside, and I want to take advantage of that. Oh, here we go. Martyn's link is there. So we'll go over to Martyn in a couple minutes. I think I'll keep an eye on it. I think Martyn will have a timer. If he doesn't, we'll go straight there. If he does have a timer, then we will wait for the timer to run out a little bit. James says, so you couldn't keep it on Robinhood? I have half decent wallet and half on Robinhood. No, Robinhood's fine. I mean, look, guys, I don't give financial advice. Obviously, it's much safer if you've got a ledger and you've got your seed phrases. But in reality, if you put it on a ledger, are you going to send it to the right address? Are you going to lose your seed phrases? Are you going to get scammed because people start sending you money into your ledger and you think whatever? Realistically, in the real world, I think an exchange is more safe now in terms of all the risks that are around crypto, and I think an ETF is even better. So I don't have a problem with keeping it on Robinhood or whatever, as long as you've got two-factor authentication set up, this, that, and the other. And if you have large amounts, then obviously that's a different scenario. Just like if you had large amounts of gold, you probably wouldn't keep it under your bed. You'll probably put it in a safety deposit box. Better max memories. Copper will rise as silver becomes more expensive. Yeah, that's why we're looking at copper. Well, I have a payment right here, and where can I send this copy center? Factory, I'm so sorry, but we don't deal with YouTube. You have to contact YouTube themselves. Kazanska, how much does it say on your thing in Australian dollars? How much does it say you've spent for election? Kazanska, Liz, can you knock up a pie of physical assets and top 3 mining royalty companies, no ETF fees? Yes, we are going to do pies on Trading 212. I'm just keeping an eye on Martyn as well because I don't want to go into his show. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Where's the course at? That will be coming out in the next couple of weeks on the newsletter. James, I bought XRP and holding for 5 years. Monitoring Kazansko, sorry. Melvin says, I was just waiting for your instruction to buy XRP. I hope you're not talking to me because I don't give instructions. Human being Liz says, I do what... Oh, there we go. Everyone can hear that coming in. Okay, we've got 6 minutes, so we'll give it a few minutes and then we'll go over to Martyn. Human being Liz, good morning. Enjoy your coffee. 80s. I'm sorry. What's in the newsletter again? That will help us investors. Okay, I'll explain it once more. No worries. 80s static. I'll explain it now. I think Powell goes negative and Trump goes positive after. Oh my God, Zach, don't stress me. Looking forward to the portfolio tracker. Oh, not going to start portfolio. I mean, it will take some time. It will be probably mid 2026, but yeah, I mean, we're already working on it. It's going to be great. Morning Sensei, another day of uncertainty with everything going on. Yeah, I think a dovish or hawkish from Powell is the most important in rates today. Live next, there again, Martyn's link is there. Are you subscribed to the newsletter? 34% of you will be getting the cheat sheet today. 32% of you won't, but you're still benefiting from some parts of the newsletter. I highly recommend if you're a free member right now, you do upgrade. Oh wait, sorry. So 34% of you don't want to win. Okay. 32% of you are free members, 23% of you are premium members. Thank you very much. And 11% of you want to know how to sign up. And then I just got a question there about how to sign up and what you get. Physical silver, realist, not bearish. Vivian, Clarity Act, your thoughts and why no mention by you and Martyn at all? Well, because it's been pushed back and we have talked about it. If you look at, we do a lot of streams, so you must have missed it, Vivian. We talk about it quite regularly. However, it's been pushed back. We've talked about Brian Armstrong and how he had a lot to do with that. I believe science modules doubt they will announce it. I need SBC to confirm that the earnings call is on the 2nd of the 25th or the 25th of the 2nd. Aaron says, good morning, Sensei. Are there any specific conditions or factors you're monitoring to invalidate your expected correction? Yeah, I don't have time to discuss it now, but I do. Assuming a major crash is on the way and we will have cash money now, what do we invest in? Bonds. I mean, look, if even if you expect to crash, most of the time it's better to be invested in the market and just buy the dip if you have it, or just invest long term. If you want to try and trade it and be better, then what would you put it in? If you really expect a crash to come, you put it in bonds. You put it in, yeah, probably bonds. What's your thought on Visa? I don't have anything. If you're a realist, then you're bearish. Okay. Someone asked me about the newsletter. We need to go over to Martyn. He's starting very soon. So today is the last day of the 60% promotion. Later on today, you're going to be getting a full cheat sheet. This is last time round. You got the full timeline. You got all the... so someone asked, what's the benefit? Well, you know exactly what's going on. You don't... the issue of these events such as Japan carry trade or Japanese interest rate decision or the US interest rate decision is that there's all sorts going on at different times. This will guide you through it, what to look out for each step. Read it once before, follow it along during the event. You'll know what the probabilities are. You'll know what to watch for in statements. You'll know it will break down the next day as well, or later on in the day, exactly what was released. You'll know what's dovish, what's hawkish. You'll know what to look out for in the speech, what to look out for in the PDF, where to find the PDF. You will see all my charts. Last time we did a chart on silver, $60 to $69. That happened very quickly. That was and now it's at $120. That's 100% from just some of the charts I've done. Again, I don't ask you to follow me. I just ask you to understand the knowledge, look at the chart. So that's one thing you get. FOMC cheat sheet, you'll get that today for the FOMC. If you want to take advantage of that, get it right now. All the other benefits of the newsletter are listed here. You can pause and have a look. You get 4 daily newsletters, no hype, 5 stories. That's all you need. Keeping up to with the news is very important if you want to be a successful investor. Oh my God, we've got 5 memberships given away. Let me please do thank 1978 Buckley. Thank you so much. So you again, when I started reading the news and signing up to probably 10 different news publications, that's when I became even more successful long-term investor and found those hidden gems alongside the chart. But that's about $1,000 a month for $800 a month in subscription. So essentially, we pick out, you only need 5 news stories a day, and that's what we pick out. We give you a deep dive, we give you the chart of the day, we give you the number that matters, we tell you the one big thing every single trading morning. Plus, you get the top movers, the ad-free experience, unlike others, my thoughts on each of the story, the chart of the day, the event cheat sheets like FOMC today, the deep dive research, and the reason we're doing 60% off is because it's the biggest launch since the newsletter launch. So it's the £5,000 portfolio where we are going to be researching different sectors. We're starting off with copper. My full framework is going to be released on Thursday. Then the research starts and we're trying to build up that portfolio. Again, it's not a buy here, sell there. It is this is my full research, this is where I'm buying, and this is my portfolio. It's more like a journal. Then you get the trading course, which is my full 8 years of chart training, all the money I put into learning it, all the mistakes I've made, so you can get it in sort of a 2-hour video, plus the weekly live streams around it. And then you get the debt planner, budget planner, net worth tracker as an app that's coming out in the next 2 weeks. So all of those perks benefits obviously is levels you up. So go and check it out. 6% off today only. It finishes today. And apart from that, let's go over to Martyn. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I wish everyone the best of luck when we go over to the FOMC. Martyn's going to give you some more insights now. Stay where you are. We'll go over to Martyn. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.